California, rescue me. I've been so low, I've been weak. It's 2 months since I've had peace. Humans. California, rescue me. Say the state, feeling great in the south of a medicated weight. Think I need another ounce of a child of the sun and the sun. I'm just admiring my own majesty right now. Oh, wait, hold on. What a day, what a day, what a day. On a mug. What you say, what you say, what you say now? I put this on repeat. I hope you don't mind. The refrigerator. Excuse me. Does not sound better. Rescue me. That might be too loud. I'm over here on the tubes where there is apparently no time limit. Whatever he said. I'm sorry, what was I saying? Oh, to my knowledge, there's no time limit here. I can play Dirty Heads and not get kicked off. I can serve a tray of something. Because I'm not monetizing this. I'm not excited about the quality or the lighting because it's on my lappy toppy. But my phone won't let me, so sorry. I don't have any friends here though. I don't know anybody on the tubes. That might be a challenge. I can't talk to my friends. Oh, the Instagram's really dead lately. I post one picture of my vacation every 4 months or so, my quarterly vacation. I was just in Portland with my sister to see Tress. How come when I drink out of this you can't see the unicorn? Now you can see my lipstick. I heard this in Gina's van on the way to Five Below. I was like, my goodness, this is beautiful. Do you agree, Gina? Gina is my one of the clients I care for. Yesterday was Thanksgiving, so happy belated Thanksgiving. I did not have any plans, so I volunteered to work with Gina all day and night. And I think it's holiday pay on top of the regular bunch of hours that would be. And so that's a blessing. And then her mom, she has cerebral palsy, Gina. So everything I do it for her. I have to do everything. So it can get a little labor intensive. Obviously, when we go out especially. But her mom insisted on feeding her. She just went into like total ass mom mode. So I got to eat. She made me a majestic ass plate. Is he saying wave? In the middle of a wave? I'm gonna have to turn this down or I'm gonna keep singing it. Turn it off. But I'm excited to have music I want to hear. Oh, what was I saying? So I had a very majestic Thanksgiving, and then she sent me with a plate home and a card, and I opened the card when I got home, and it said, "Thank you for taking care of Gina on Thanksgiving." And there was $100 in it. And I text her, I was like, "Jesus, you don't have to do that. Stop." She's all, "Well, we're very grateful for you." I'm like, "Well, fuck, I'm very blessed to have met Gina and her awesome family, It beats procuring steel toilets for the government by a fuckload, let me tell you. So I felt so grateful and so blessed. I didn't get a headache or nothing yesterday. It was just majestic. My boyfriend made me this. He was into making mugs for a while. This is from the last unicorn. And this is my lipstick. I just got something on Facebook that told me the last unicorn came out this time of year, 1982. So I told my boyfriend that because that's the year he was born. I'm 81. I didn't do it. Did I do it private? I didn't mean to. I was gonna go live on Instagram, but literally, I like to talk for longer than an hour, and it has been kicking me off. And somebody said I could make a creator account. I said I am a creator. So I put it on creator, and then it started telling me I had to excuse me. I'm just making sure I did this right. I don't ever live on YouTube. California, rescue me. I gotta take it up this song. I don't know what I'm saying. I've gotten so bad at storytelling. I'm sorry. I told myself I wasn't going to self-deprecate or talk shit about myself, but I just act like a blithering boob when I hit the live button. Oh, anyway, if Thanksgiving is about giving thanks and feeling blessed, man, I felt blessed yesterday. Especially, I was like, lady. And she runs like an art gallery, kind of like the one where I was reading poetry at a couple years ago. Kind of like that, like a community get together. They put their art on the walls and stuff, and you can buy it. It's not like a corporate art gallery; it's just community. And there's so much beautiful stuff on the wall. John Lennon quotes. Two Crows. If I was cool, because I wrote a poem not long ago, Two Crows. That's what I wanted to focus on in this live poetry, because while cleaning out my past, I almost said dead father, that sounds terrible, my past father's house. Oh, let's be real, I'm not the one cleaning it out, my sister is, but she brought some stuff over for me to look at. This wasn't one of them. This she gave to my mom on my mom's birthday, which was August 23rd, but I actually stole it from my mom's house that day because two reasons. One, I'm kind of a klepto, which is a bad thing to be when you go in and out of people's homes all day like I do. No further comment on that, but I took it that night because guess what it is? Maybe you're less familiar here, YouTube patrons, than my Instagram frenzies, but I'm a poet. I just learned the word psalm means a poem from the heart. Because I was looking for wallpaper for my phone a while ago, and I found this one with Psalms on it. I love Psalms and Corinthians, which is part of the Bible that I love. Again, I'm not actually, sorry, this is flipped, not actually religious, but I do love God a lot, and angels, and the divine. One day now. And, oh my God, what the hell was I saying? A psalm is a poem from the heart. Oh yeah, so this angel wallpaper with a psalm 91. How do you say it? 911? 91? 911? I don't know, but it's about angels, and it's like, it says, and he will place his angels wherever. Shit, I'm bad at this. Don't ask me to read Psalms from memory. Why do I get so nervous? I'm not actually nervous anymore. It's because I have things I want to say, and it just, I guess I'm more of an improv girl. They don't come out right, but I don't really want to start over just because I'm bumblefucking around with my words. But a psalm is a poem from the heart, and basically it's a whole, part of the Bible that's little beautiful poems. They don't. Some of them rhyme, some of them don't. But this one about angels was real pretty, and it was on the wallpaper. And I actually don't know what that has to do with anything, other than that what my sister gave my mom that she found at my dad's is this little, I think it's called Moleskin. It's a book of my mom's poetry from when she was 13. And let me tell you, internet, it's majestic. It's just as majestic as mine. I did not know my mom was a fucking poet. Like, a lot of things I know my mom is, but not a poet. Like, so that shocked me. It shocked me. So I kleptoed it. And then later, she messaged me and she's all, do you know where my poetry book went that Melissa just brought? That's my sister. For me on my birthday, I'm like, yes, I took it home. And she's like, why didn't you ask? I didn't even get to read it. I was like, because I was afraid you were going to hide it away from me and like everyone in the world. And it was really good. And she was really fascinating to me because the first batch of the actual batch of poetry I wrote was at 13. It was in 7th grade when I met Mr. Lotta. He encouraged us. He was like a beat poet. I didn't meet him, actually. I met him in 2nd grade. And then I saw him again in 7th grade. He was this kid, Chris Lotta, if you're out there. Brought his father came into the classroom and played guitar and taught us about Australia. I guess we were having a unit on Australia. And I was like, this guy is fucking sick. Yeah, we sang about kookaburras and duck-billed platypuses, and we were reading books about, I think the girl's name was Dot. She was in Australia. I don't know. It was this whole ass Australian thing that we were going through in 2nd grade. And so Chris's father, Mr. Lotta, came in and helped teach the unit. And then at 7th grade, when I'm 13 or 12, I'm a little bit older. I went into kindergarten when I was 6. Because I came out of the womb reading Willie Shakes, and Mom didn't think I needed to go to school. Just kidding. She was extremely overprotective and anxious, like I'm known to be. But anyway, so then I saw Mr. Lotta again in 7th grade. He was my fucking core teacher, English and history. And I got an F- in history, but I got an A+ in English because we were writing poetry. And anyway, so this opened like a floodgate for me. I just wrote this, like, basically an opus in 7th grade, not like my current opus. Not quite as extensive, but a baby opus. At about 13, and then I just went back to sleep because life got really hard emotionally for me and physically and everything. It's just, for me personally, I don't like to bitch about life being hard anymore, like, because I think that it disempowers you. And also, some people really do have it hard, as in they're violently, physically violated, captured, kidnapped, trafficked, ravaged, raped, ritualized for money's sake. That's one of my poems. So I think that if you're sovereign and able-bodied and able-minded enough, you should not have a victim complex, because there are people that have literally been... Did you hear that? What the fuck was that? That was a creepy ass noise. Anyway, there are people that... Hello? I've never heard that noise in my life. I wonder if that's like God telling me to stop ranting when I'm here to share my mom's poetry. Oh, anyway, so I went on in life to not... What is that? It sounds like a tropical bird in my cabinet. I've never been more terrified, and I try not to have fear in my life. Maybe it's a malfunctioning Keurig. Yes, I know I should not be drinking coffee at 8 o'clock at night. People tell me I shouldn't drink coffee at all, much less 8, 9 o'clock. Okay, pray for me. Speaking of God. Yeah, I think it was the Keurig. I closed it as if I was gonna make more coffee, and there's no water in there, so it was probably about to explode and kill myself and my cats and my neighbors. Oops! I have no fucking idea what I was saying. But the goal tonight is to read my mom's poetry from when she was 13. Now, I know my mom is still a prolific writer, but she does it sneakily. Like, she does, like, I don't know what the hell she's doing. She has stuff online that she hides. Like, she writes in, I want to say, pen names? Student pen? Is it pen? God, I hate how friggin' stupid I sound on the internet. I'm not. But she conceals her identity, and she writes from many different perspectives and points of view. She's kind of a troll. Don't tell anyone, but she does. She likes to incite arguments, debates. I don't. Like, I just like beauty and authenticity and expressing myself. But I guess I can, I don't really understand how my mom. But anyway, how she's turned out to be as a writer. But I had to klepto this so I'm trying to figure out actually how to get some of this stuff on my website before I have to give it back. I guess I could take pictures of it, but I mean, no, not really. That's not what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out if I can feature it on my website, and also my nephews, because when my dad was dying and I was sitting beside him in the hospital, not the actual day that he was dying, but my nephew came in. He was the look on his face when he came in, he was so like sad and shocked, because I know he looked up to my dad, and he was such a strong male figure in his life, or dominant, overbearing. I don't know how you want to say it, but anyway, so to see him so weak at the end of his life, the look on Patrick's face was a little much for me. But anyway, Patrick shared with me a poem that he had written. He told me he wrote poetry, and I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know you did. So share it with me, please. And it was good. Like, I'm serious. Like, it was good, just like the stuff in here, just like mine. And I know, I think I have issue with saying my stuff is good because no one else seems to think so. But I know in my heart that it is. But it always reminds me when I say that it's good. You know what it reminds me of? Shallow Hal. When he's dating Gwyneth Paltrow. But it's fat Gwyneth Paltrow. But to him, it looks like regular Gwyneth Paltrow. She looks like regular. The movie's fucking funny. I know it doesn't sound like the way I'm describing it. It sounds cruel, but it's because he was. You've seen Shallow Hal, right? Like, Banana Hands put a spell on him, that big guy, that self-help guy, which allowed him to see the soul and inner beauty. And so he didn't see fat Gwyneth Paltrow, just regular Gwyneth Paltrow. But I remember that guy from Seinfeld, his little friend, who turns out to have a tail in the end. So that's his motivation for acting like an asshole. We all have hidden motivations. Sometimes I try not to, but that's another story. And he had gotten a hold of, Seinfeld guy had gotten a hold of Banana Hands and made him reverse the spell. Perception. There's a difference in perception, really. And because there's really the truth, and then there's all of our perceptions, which is different. But anyway, so his perception went back to being able to see fat Gwyneth Paltrow and a little guy from Seinfeld, I think it's Jason Alexander, keeps trying to get him not to see her and running after him and closing his eyes and all this shit, putting Vaseline in his eyes. That was kind of gross. I think Jack Black did that. Willfully, of his own volition. But anyway. And then Hal says to Jason Alexander, he goes, what does it matter? I thought she was hot. I saw hot. I was happy. What the fuck is the problem? And he goes, third-party perspective, Hal. Have you heard of it? This always runs through my head when I think about my own poetry. Third-party perspective, right? Like, but anyway, it makes me happy and I feel good about it. So, if my mom felt that way too, or she feels that way about her writing, I want to honor her by reading some of it here. Okay, this is called Chemistry. I might read them all because there's only like 10 in here. By my mom, Colleen's mom. Okay, take it down a notch, dirty heads. This is serious. A mole of this, a mole of that, a mole of cake won't make you fat. 1 liter here, 1 liter there. Gods, it seems they're everywhere. HCl is acid, a base is H2O. I got so mad one day, that test tube I did throw. And now I'm in the office. It's laboratory breather. I'm getting out of chemistry. Teach doesn't like me either. The days grow short and cold, like the memories from days of old. The things we knew them no more. We know them no more. Is this the same poem? I feel like the tone changed quite a bit. Did I butcher the chemistry poem? Sorry. Basically, she got sent to the office by the chemistry teacher. This reminds me of my poem about light bulbs. It's flippant like that. Okay. Precisely nicely. If I had to choose the ones to lose, you may be sure that you'd endure. It's not quite that you are that cat, or that your looks are told in books. It's just the fact that you have tact and treat me nice. That does suffice. Mom! Out! Please, open the door. Take up your feet from off of this floor. Or you hang outside, high from the window. Please, won't you hide? Wait, what? I'm sorry, Mom. It takes, the thing that I've learned about poetry is like you write it, it sounds majestic in your head and you have the syllables all the way that you want them and it comes out rhythmically and flowingly and then somebody else will read it and you're like, you fucktard, that's not how it's supposed to be written or read. So, but the other one I got real well. Talk as you like. Ride your trike. Pay no mind to the blind. Kick the fool. Use no tool. Heed your own. Reap not what was sown. Live without. Live alone. Was she literally like a toddler writing about a tricycle? Men are people with pride, some more than others. Their tongues are many, and yet, even if they were the same, men would not understand each other. It's almost June, and the breezes blow. The wind whispers round, and everybody knows that the color of black is Mary's glove. The war is over, and gone is Mary's love. It was June when he left, with Mary at his side. As the train pulled away, it was Mary who cried. But she held her head high and blew a farewell kiss, and everybody knew it was Johnny she would miss. Then the tree leaves fell, and it started to snow. Young men asked her out, but Mary said no. She waited and wrote every day. She was a proud kind of girl, and she always seemed gay. The sun did come out, and it turned into spring, but a cable came, and Mary put away John's ring. He came home under the flag, home from the war, and Mary and Johnny were together once more. I think I butchered that, but it was pretty romantic. I like the part about other dudes asking her out, and she's like, no. Ooh, this one is special to me because when my mom when she moved out, when I was 14, and my dad moved in, the house was pink. The house that we're going through now, that's being my dad's house, it was pink. And he painted it white. That was the first fucking thing he did, and I took it as a big fat fuck you to me. Big fat fuck you. So that didn't make me feel any better about the situation. Anyway, this one is untitled, I guess. And it's kind of the opposite of how I feel. What in the heck did he think when he painted the house such a pink? The idea is mine, that if I had the time, the house I'd subdue by painting it blue. But thinking ahead, I do so like red. Yet also, in spite, I kind of love white. And such a scene. Could it be green? My cuz, a nice fellow, wants the house painted yellow. But my dad, after a stiff drink, painted the town red and the house pink. I really like that one. Her dad painted the house pink at 13. My dad painted it white when I was 13. And she left. Some of these I hesitate to read because I don't know the rhythm and the meter and the gate. My favorite one is definitely the pink one. The forest green. It's so supreme. I love that hue. Don't you? The lively red, it just swirls in my head. No, never ban the tomato can. She wrote a poem about the colors in the tomato can. That's pretty fucking majestic. Tiny Marty. Marty was a tiny kid who sat around and fed on squid. He never did digest the stuff, but when told of this, he just said, tough. His mother failed, but tried a year to start the tiny kid on beer. She even went so far as to beat Tiny Marty black and blue. I don't like that, Mom. And so she fixed him scotch and coke. It's a wonder Marty didn't croak. She tried hard to win, but Marty beat her. She remained an alcoholic, and he a squid eater. Yeah. Okay. I've eat already, thanks. Hey, not Cassius, but Caesar, you. What do you think you mean by et two? Fuck, I'm butchering it. I'm Brutus, and I really wish that you would kindly learn to speak English. See, if I wasn't so uneducated in how to pronounce et tu, et, who says that? Caesar? I've already E plus already, thanks. Hey, not Cassius, but Caesar, you. What do you mean by et tu? I'm Brutus, and I really wish that you would kindly speak English. You, to me, are like honey to the bees, green leaves to the trees, breadcrumbs to the birds, open plains to buffalo herds, hands to clocks, cardboard to a box, blue to the sky. I'll love you till I die. I remember leaves of green and smiles that I've seen, skies of blue. I mean to say, I love you, and I hope you love me too. Do you? My mom is calmly writing a letter to my dad. Most likely she is telling him that I am awfully bad. She had to take a nervous pill because I am such a brat. She also had to clean a pan of business by the cat. But there she's calmly writing a letter to my dad, and something in it tells me the cat and I have been had. Another untitled one. God bless the man who lives alone, like a king upon his throne. He needs it. I'm not sure what she means by that. I think something sarcastic. Okay. You have to go some to find a good chum. My life has traveled many ways. My heart is filled with happy days, and my soul refreshed and still reclines upon this grassy hill. Come, all you torn and troubled people, come along with me. We will ride the road of sorrows to lonesome Calvary. I can see a man so gentle, whose words were always kind. Come, all you torn and troubled people, don't forget the blind. Gather young ones, help the old, walk this stone-filled path. Hurry now and speak in whispers, turn away God's wrath. So come you torn and troubled people, though heavy is your load, lift up your souls to see his face. There's joy along this road. I might cry because last night I was just talking to her. Because she said, she's always telling me God's an asshole and there's no God. And I'm like, that's not true. Stop, you know? And she's like, well, look at this and look at this and look at this and look at this. And why is this how it is? And I'm like, I know you don't believe that. She's like, yes, I do. I said, well, God is all love, and the nature of this planet, you know, you've heard the story about Lucifer, okay? You know, like he thought he was better than God and he was going to create something else. And every time one of us comes here, whether we're tricked into it or we came of our own, I like this word, volition, I'm not sure yet, okay? Well, however that happened, like you have a choice to align with the God inside of you that is good and human and to do his will or not. Because we all have both inside of us as long as we're here in duality. And I, for instance, was asleep for a while. You can be asleep and aligned with not God and all of everything that goes with that, or you can wake up and align with God and all of His. But she gets so upset and says he wouldn't. Why does He allow it? And I'm not sure. But as a sovereign being, you have the choice to align with Him. Capital H. She has it right here. To make a cake of peace, here are the things that you must do. Since the main ingredients are your fellow man and you, mix in an era of understanding. Better make it two, and a lot of selfless loving. A lifetime's worth will do. Death is but a passing phase. Of grief it leaves a fiery blaze. But those who suffer understand the hand of death is mercy's hand. And I told her I actually think this is the closest dimension to hell there is, and that I've said before, I don't think it's that real. It's just an illusion because everything, although very seemingly powerful, now I'm snotting all over the place, it's not actually, because what's coming from not God is praying. The inversion of the word pray, P-R-A-Y, P-R-E-Y. You'll notice a lot of wordplay and inversion of everything on earth. It's like that. I focus on words because I like words. But how real can it be if it requires gods to keep going? Or to sustain? Or to hide behind? What are you afraid of? You as in of God. I need a tissue. And what is dying? Is dying being off earth? Or is it being separated from God and praying off of God's? Is maybe the concept of death here an inversion? How many times can you turn away and pretend that He isn't there? And how many times can you ignore the emptiness in His stare? And how many times can you tell yourself that for Him, you just don't care? You can tell yourself 100 times, it's over and through. But how many times will you ask yourself if He might still love you? For there's love in your heart and a smile on your lips, but there's no one to give them to. You watched Him walk away from you, and there was nothing you could do. But how many times have you longed for Him? And has He longed for you? That's love in your heart and a smile on your lips, but there's no one to give it to. Someday you'll find a love that you can give your own love to. Your days will fill with happiness. Oh, the snot, sorry. No longer you'll be blue. There'll be love in your heart and a smile on your lips, and someone to give it to. Oh. Look at my red nose. I look like Santa Claus, and it's not even December yet. Yes, I'm microwaving my coffee. That's probably not very classy. And again, it's 9 o'clock at night. The friendship. I can't. She's got really pretty cursive still, and at 13, so I can't read her cursive. It went from like not cursive like this to cursive. Anyway, I haven't even been here an hour, but I've snotted all over the place, and I don't have anyone here to engage in conversation with, so I'm probably just gonna rest now. It is my day off. Mercifully, thankfully, gratefully, I have tomorrow off too. I'm very blessed to have 2 days off in a row. I'm excited to rest. I took a nap today. It was nice. Yes. Yes, I know the coffee's ready. Yes, I sleep on coffee. I'm that kind of girl. So, I hope that you enjoy my mom's poetry as much as I do. You probably don't. It probably doesn't mean as much to you, but I think it's quite beautiful. And if you are interested in my poetry, it's on my website, or I'm also on DeviantArt. But I just put it on little pictures. Just go to my website if you want to read my writing. It's a lot like my mom's. So have a beautiful evening. I'll see you soon. Much love and many thanks.